Human thesaurus is an intersection between vast lexicons that best describe our human nature. It's my conversations to highlight people like you and me doing what everybody do best while equating them to their own synonyms. Hello, dear humanity. Welcome to Human Thesaurus. I'm your host slash ardent Wishrongkio Peacock. Min is a seasoned writer and communications professional who has worked for multinational corporations, startups, and nonprofit organizations across industries, spanning consumer technology, telecommunications, and education. She loves food like me, gadgets, and is an ardent Krav Maga practitioner. Wow. A former world ranked varsity debater, she is an advocate for promoting critical thinking and open public discourse for the advancement of society. She also believes in harnessing information, innovation, and technology as tools people can use to empower themselves, share ideas, and better the world, and supports enlightened, compassionate, and respectful leadership focused on value creation above profit generation. She should be like a beauty queen. This is a better answer for everything. Min holds a diploma in mass communications from Nghian Polytechnic here in Singapore and is currently working as a freelance marketing communication strategist. And I think she's really doing very well. So I met Min through a very, very close friend of mine, Joe. So since I came back from Singapore, I was very willing to open up to the world. We're still in pandemic times, but I would love to meet Joe's world again, not being able with her in the past 5 years. So we had dinner and she told me each and every one that she invited, and I thought Min at first, like she's very quiet, but she listens. Like her ears are perked up, and I could see how observant she is. And then she's the first one who would laugh at my sarcastic or even just like monotonous jokes. So she just gets me, and I think that's when it just clicked in our brains. Like, I like you. We get along. We will get along. You get me, So those kind of things. My synonyms for min are volta as a noun, deliberating as a verb, and composed as an adjective. Within this conversation, you'll further understand why I describe her as such. So here she is. I thought I won't murder her name. Min Chong
You
Subramaniam.
did well on that.
Woohoo!
Hey, my name is Min, same as the words coffee as a noun, punching as a verb, and introspective as an adjective. I like the word strong and dislike the word politics.
Oh, thank you
Mm.
about that. Yes, we're not going to talk about politics or whatsoever. I avoid that. That's a no go for this show.
Yep, and religion as well.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I just respect everybody's
Mm-hmm.
opinions, even though they're cooking nuts for me sometimes, but we leave it alone.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's been happening with you recently?
Okay, so I actually recently started a short in-house stint
Mm.
as part of my freelance job in the American Club, and that's been pretty interesting. I go in to the office about 3 to 4 days a week,
Oh.
and I just handle communications there.
Oh.
And also, as you know, another thing that I think was quite significant that happened in the past couple of months. I spoke to you about it.
Mhm.
My husband and I, we experienced a little mishap in our lives, which was a miscarriage, an early miscarriage, thankfully, but
Mm.
still quite a difficult experience.
Right. Okay, let's unpack this little by little. We're going to unfold all of these.
Mm-hmm.
Number one
Mm-hmm.
is I would like to thank you for trusting me with that news when you messaged me.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of, to be honest with you, I kind of knew that you were pregnant when I was talking about my
Mm-hmm.
miscarriage.
Mm-hmm.
I just had a feeling, even though we don't really know each other that well
Mm-hmm.
yet. I told Joe
Mm-hmm.
after that dinner,
Mm-hmm.
I messaged her, I think I'm being so insensitive. I think Min is pregnant. I just had a feeling.
Mm.
And I was like, I feel bad because I could not have brought up my story because hers is a bit better news, than a Debbie Downer, my story.
Mm.
So when you kind of told me that you're going to tell me something, I was like, oh, 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 oh.
Yeah.
And then you told me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm so sorry about that because I don't know if you were planning to tell us at that time.
Mm-hmm.
But how's your process? Because we all have to go through a different process in the way we think about miscarriages, and it's not really talked about
Mm.
without the taboo.
Yeah.
So, can you share with me yours and your husband's experience and the way of thinking, and where are you now in your mindset and in your, emotions right now?
Mm. So interestingly enough, that dinner that we had, right? I didn't
Mm.
know at that time that I was pregnant, but I was.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so it was really interesting that you had that kind of intuitive, sense of the situation.
Wow.
I didn't even know. And
Oh my gosh.
yeah,
Mm.
so I mean, it just goes to show how I think how sensitive you are emotionally as well, about these things and the things that you pick up. And maybe that's why I felt so safe talking to you
Wow.
about my experience and how comfortable I felt opening up to you about it.
Mm.
um, and I think just having someone, who also kind of went through the same experience,
Mm.
and shared the same, I think, shared the same sort
Shared
of,
tragedy.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think it really did. It helped me a lot, and I think it gave me it gave me some peace. I think,
Mm.
being able to be that vulnerable with people around me, and
Mm.
I agree with you. I think I recently shared a post on Facebook about it, and
Yes.
I didn't know whether I wanted to talk about it so publicly.
Yeah.
And at many junctures, I think I put it off, but eventually I felt that it was something that was important to say.
Yeah.
Not only I think for my own closure and for to put my experience and my husband's experience into words, but also because I know that there are a lot of women who experience the same thing,
Yes.
but don't talk about it. And they don't talk about it for a few reasons, which is, they've never even announced their pregnancy, right?
Yeah.
And so,
Yes.
in a sense, there's no springboard of a conversation,
Right.
to even get to the topic of their loss. And those who have, announced it, I think still feel uncomfortable talking about a topic like this in a way that is so visible to just more than their close friends and family.
Hmm. Yeah, I agree.
Mm,
I agree. And I think, I've learned a lot with our miscarriage because,
mm,
you would not really know
mm,
what it is and how it is. It's not just like the physical thing, it's
mhm.
the entire journey of that tragedy that it's hard. It's hard to understand. You can only, some people, we can only sympathize if we never experience it.
Yeah.
But now that we experience it, it just gave us another layer of wisdom in a way,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
really like the peace that you claim having gone through the all the emotions of
Hmm.
it, right? It's
Hmm.
different.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? Are we do you have the same feeling?
I think there's a certain kind of peace you feel knowing that you've overcome, or at least you've experienced, a loss that can be quite transformative,
Mm,
but also come out stronger. And, you understand yourself and other people actually who have experienced similar losses a bit better as well. So I think I think there's a confidence in having gone through something that is difficult and then come out the other side,
yeah.
still intact with a deeper level of wisdom and a deeper kind of respect for yourself in a way that's not,
Yeah.
it's not about patting yourself in the back, but it's kind of like you see yourself differently as well, and then you see people around you who have also experienced these things differently,
Yeah.
with a renewed kind of respect and a renewed almost an admiration for the kind of strength that, as a collective, we women possess.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's also profound to think about this
Mm.
because it's a common thing, right? It's a common thing
Yeah.
apparently,
Yeah.
but it still doesn't feel common at the
Mm-hmm.
same time.
Yeah.
When you view the world differently through your own, let's say, reproductive system
Mm.
in this way, and also the dynamics of you and your partner going through it,
Mm.
because it's not just us, right? It's our partners.
Yeah,
Like, what do they
exactly.
feel about it? It's nothing less, it's not lesser than what we
Yeah.
feel.
Yeah.
What was your process with your husband going through this entire experience,
Mm,
if you can share a little bit of it?
yeah. He was actually really. I know it feels a bit weird to say this, but he actually took it in quite a positive way,
Mm,
which was helpful for me as well.
yeah,
And his perspective was basically that it was an early miscarriage,
yeah,
and if it was going to happen, better it happen early than
yes,
any time, like later in the journey. And I really do agree with that because, for a variety of reasons, not just physical,
mm,
but also emotional as well. So I think that was a perspective that kind of helped me to center myself and to use as a sort of like a point of emotional reference
yeah,
going forward. And the fact that he was just always supportive of me and always very sensitive
mm,
to what I was experiencing, and at the same time very communicative of what he was feeling as well. I think that really helped a lot. And at the same time, I mean, I think it's our relationship. I think it's characterized by the fact that we radically honest with each other, and I
nice.
I I, I mean that in like the strongest of terms. It's we I don't know. I think it's quite interesting because we don't hide anything from each other, and including so for example, like if I'm feeling insecure or if I'm
Mm,
feeling jealous or anything, or if I have a concern that I think is like stupid
mm,
and I would probably not reveal to anyone else.
yeah,
We've made it a point in our relationship to just talk about it. But it's really freeing, it's very liberating to be able to do that with someone,
yeah,
to sort of lay your ego aside and lay your own pride aside and say, you know what, we are one in this union.
yes,
And there shouldn't be any sort of like walls or secrets or
yeah.
any kind of pride that inhibits conversation and communication and connection.
Yeah, so I think that the what do you call that? The ribbon that ties your
Mm,
flower of a relationship together is really the confidence with each other.
yeah,
So, and
yeah.
then, that there goes love, respect. Those are the flowers and the stems in your
Mm,
relationship. And
mm,
then you've got this ribbon of confidence, which is always ideal. And I think I've kind of heard the gist of your relationship, or your a little bit of gist of your life, that
mm.
it's amazing and it's wonderful, and you're blessed to really find a very good partner that you really, really deserve, you know?
Yeah, oh, thank you. Yeah, and it's not easy to find someone like that in anyone's life, whether it's a friend or a life partner or a family member.
Mm,
I think it's difficult to find someone that you can just entirely trust.
mm.
I think especially for me as well, because I think I'm the kind of person who's a little bit I'm a little bit of a
Are you guarded? That
I
was my first observation.
yeah, I can be. I don't know. The thing is, and I think ironically, I'm guarded because my sort of natural inclination is to be really open.
Mm, mm.
Yeah, and it's not like I've been burned before or anything like that. But I think maybe over the years I've felt a little bit protective of that openness,
Yeah.
and it's an openness that I want to share with people that I choose.
Mm.
But at the same time, I'm also not afraid to just sort of speak my mind to a wider audience, like to
Yeah.
the public. It's not something that I shy away from, but I think
Yes.
I've also kind of developed, that kind of like it's not a wall, but it's a little bit of a, it's telling myself that I should choose who I open up to if I can.
Choosing wisely. So that's why
Yeah,
it
yeah.
took me a while. I was thinking about this
Mm,
for a while. It's like, how am I going to describe you with a noun and a verb and an adjective? Because
mm, mm,
so I keep on like turning round and around and keep on changing the words because
mm,
it's this is crazy, man. I think we're really connected because even though we only met quite a handful of times,
mm-hmm,
I kind of like getting who you are. And
mm-hmm.
then also like, we have this regular little banters on Instagram messaging. But,
Yeah.
sometimes when you meet people like that, you don't really know them as much. But I was like, I kind of got to a point that I'm beginning to really understand you. And you're like a contradiction of things in a
Mm-hmm,
good
mm-hmm,
way, in a
mm.
very good way. So I was just like, what are the right words for this? Like, because it's such a contradiction. So I needed to dig deeper on my lexicon, on the synonyms. And I was like, what is the perfect one? So that's why I said volta. Volta is in music, it's like a turn, or in a
Mm,
prose or a poem, it's like the turn. You use volta mostly in sonnets. So
mm-hmm,
it's like the turning point of the poem,
mm,
of the story. So I just feel like, since you're a contradiction of everything, you're always turning.
mm-hmm.
That means it's not just the evolution, it's not all of us evolve, but
Yeah.
you have this certain kind of contradiction to you that was so good. Like, for example, you're always, when I see you, you're always beautiful, put together, proper. I told Joe, it's like, she's very beautiful. And then you're doing Krav Maga, and was like, who would have known? Like, it's not like it doesn't connect, but it's
Right?
her. It's just like it. Yeah, I mean, when you stereotype some people, sorry, but somewhere that, I mean, all of us would have this kind of
Mm-hmm,
biases,
mm-hmm,
right? So
mm-hmm.
I was just like, you're so always like chic, put together, and then you're doing Krav Maga. I was like, I can't connect it. Yeah, how
Yeah.
did you get to Krav Maga in the first place?
Right. Okay. There's a story behind that as well.
Okay.
When I was working, yeah. So I met Joe in Samsung when we were both working in the same business unit, and
Mhm.
she left.
Yeah.
I can't remember when she left, but it was before I did, and I stayed on in that company. But I moved to a different business unit, and
Mhm.
that was when I met, I guess, the person who, in essence, helped me to become that kind of turning point that you're talking about.
Mhm.
Um, well, not in a good way initially. She was a very toxic and boss. Uh,
Okay.
I didn't know vocal, and you see, you're right in saying that, like that. I embody a lot of contradictions because I can be really outspoken and I can be quite assertive. But strangely, in that situation, I lost that fire. Maybe because I
Mm.
was tired and overworked and, in that sense, a little bit vulnerable. But I wasn't able to stand up to, interactions that weren't good for my mental health. And
Yeah.
slowly that sort of eroded away at my self esteem,
Mm.
and it wasn't long before I actually had a breakdown. So,
Mhm.
and it was really quite sudden. When I was at work, and then all of a sudden, I just said I can't do this, right?
Right.
In fact, no, that morning, no, that morning I was
Mm.
at home
Right.
and I had to go to work, and I just couldn't do it. And I said, you know what, like there's something that's wrong with me,
Mm.
like mentally or emotionally. And that day I went to see a psychiatrist, and I was
Yeah.
diagnosed with anxiety and depression.
Oh.
And so I had to, and I made the choice, much as I loved my portfolio and much as I loved working in that space,
Mhm.
I just knew that I couldn't remain in an environment that had such a negative effect on my mental health, and so
Yeah.
I left.
Yep.
But it did take me a while to build myself up, and I had to go for therapy, which was actually really good.
Mm.
One of the best things I did for myself, I think.
That's good.
And I discovered a lot of things that led up to a lot of things that explained why I sort of reacted to my boss
Mhm.
during those interactions.
Right.
And so I will forever tell people that, like therapy is really useful.
Yeah.
It's not even just about you've had a mental breakdown, you need to go for therapy. But there are a lot of things that therapy can do
Yeah.
to help you sort out your perspectives,
Yes.
and like a lot of your, I guess, inner healing, inner child issues,
Yeah.
and that's quite transformative actually.
Mm.
So, well, as part of that healing, I decided, you know what, like I'm not gonna take shit anymore.
Good.
I'm going to, like I'm gonna find something like an activity that will help me build myself up.
Mm.
And I looked around and I was like, you know what? Like I remembered like years ago my friend saying that he had sort of, dipped his toe into Krav Maga.
Mm.
He didn't like it very much, but I, like that came to mind, and I said, maybe I'm gonna go for that. Like I'll check it out. I'll try it because it's about self
Oh.
defense. It's about standing your ground and
Yeah.
being resourceful and surviving. So I thought, you know what, that
Mm.
was a really good activity, a really good physical, kind of like almost like a catharsis for me.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
and so I took it up, and then I fell in love with it. And also because I had
Oh,
a really good coach who is now my friend,
nice.
and he was really, I think, instrumental in building up my mental toughness,
Mm.
not just like my physical fitness, but also that sort of like mental fortitude, emotional strength. And
Mm.
I think that's why I really just
Rise from the
embraced it.
ashes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I would think, right?
Mm,
That's another misconception or another taboo. Like when you see a therapist, that means you're weak or you're crazy. But
yeah,
it's not. It's just really it goes to show time and time again that sometimes the best thing is talking to strangers,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know? And unbundling all this. It's a mental massage, it's a
Yeah,
mental deep tissue massage.
I mean, I was gonna say that you go, to the spa, you go to a massage therapist, right, to
Mm,
to sort out your sore muscles.
yes,
And so why wouldn't you, make sure that your mind is in tip-top condition?
absolutely. Because if your mind is not in tip top condition, everything just falls apart.
Yeah.
Especially, it shows physically too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially for someone like me, I can be quite tied to my emotions.
Mm,
I write as part of my work quite prolifically,
hmm.
and I've noticed throughout my life, but it's something that I've noticed that if I'm not in a good mood, I don't produce.
Oh, I'm the
Yeah.
opposite.
Oh yeah.
I'm the opposite. When I'm angry, I'm very, very productive. It's weird, I know. Okay, let's do a fun part too because this
Mm,
is another curiosity. I love that I think you're one of a kind of a profile. You're not,
mm.
yeah, you're just not in the box type of a person. So, how did you become a world ranked varsity debater? Like, why did you choose debate, or someone chose it for you? Someone discovered that you can do this? Like, what's your history with that one? Because that's amazing.
Okay, so while you're asking all these really very insightful questions, because there's another story behind that as well.
Yes, please.
When I was in school, like primary school and secondary school, I always felt that I didn't quite have a voice,
Mm,
or I wasn't able to speak with my own voice.
mm,
Not necessarily that I didn't fit in, but maybe that I was still searching
mm,
for my place in social groups, and I
right.
guess, broadly speaking, in the world. You don't really realize it, or you don't really articulate that search when you're a child, but essentially it's still that, you're searching for your place in the world,
Yeah.
you're finding your voice and your identity. And I always kind of felt that I had a lot of things that I wanted to say
Mm-hmm.
and talk about and explore.
Mm-hmm.
But besides like maybe a couple of really close friends, I don't know whether I was shy. I'm not sure, like, but I just never was able to really, I think, come into my own. And I kind of never quite recognized the person that I was to the world. I
Mm,
knew that I had an inner self, but that wasn't the person that was expressing herself.
mm,
While I was always known for writing well, I didn't know whether I could speak well either
mm,
at the same time. And so when I went to poly, which was actually quite not a very popular choice at that time. Everyone thought that going to JC, junior college, was the right or the more sort of prestigious path.
Mm.
And I decided to go to poly because I had it with the secondary school system, because
Right.
junior college is also part of that system,
Yeah.
where you wake up really early in the morning, you wear a uniform,
Mm.
you sing the national anthem, and then it's all very regimented.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to do that anymore, and because I kind of felt that that was part of why I felt a little bit limited in just experiencing the person I was, and also because I knew that I wanted to study mass comm, right? And so
Mm.
straight away I was like, there isn't. I mean, it was a no brainer, right? Just go straight to poly, and it
Right.
was there with that when I think it was when I was walking around the CCA, or the co-curricular activities fair,
Mm-hmm.
where you choose what sort of like
Extracurricular that you're gonna
yeah, like
take.
supplementary activity that you wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
So it was there that I think I came across the debate booth,
Oh,
and then
okay.
I just kind of signed up, right, for fun.
Wow.
Uh,
So you didn't just think, you just went there and you're like,
yeah,
debate?
yeah.
Interesting. Okay, I'll sign up.
Yeah. And then
Mm.
so I think I went for my first session, and we were all asked to give a speech,
Oh.
or maybe not just a speech though, like to argue a certain point. I think that was the exercise. My coach said, "Hey, you really have it in you to be an awesome debater." And I
Mm.
said, "Oh, hey, really?" So I guess I kept going, and I ended up doing pretty well there,
Wow.
and I made a lot of friends that are still my friends now. So and one thing I really like about debate is that it forces you to see an issue from multiple angles, so that
Mm.
like, I mean, against your own bias as well, and because sometimes you have to debate a topic from a perspective you don't necessarily agree with personally,
Oh, okay.
but you're forced to kind of think about why someone would argue from that point of view, and why there is some validity in a perspective that you may not quite resonate with, but
Mm.
also has its merits. And I felt that that really opened my mind. It made me a bit more open-minded. It made me
Mm.
more tolerant. And because some people kind of think that debating makes you more argumentative, it makes you kind of more like combative, but if you sort of really embrace it for what it is, I think it makes you definitely more open-minded. You
Mm.
can see things from different perspectives, and you at least, I think, are one step closer to being able to empathize with groups of people, or ideas that you may not really want to take on for your own.
Mm.
But at least you have that sort of openness to that.
Wow, I didn't see that perspective at all because
Hmm.
I'm not I hate arguing. I really hate debating. I'm
Mhm.
not confrontational
Mhm.
personally, but I
Mhm.
am highly confrontational at work. Completely different. Completely
Mm.
different. You're laying it all out in the best way possible. Well, of course, because you're world ranked, duh. That I didn't see it that way. That it creates an environment where you become more respectful and open
Mhm.
minded to hear
Mhm.
out other people's view of the world instead of
Yeah.
just rejecting it immediately. That's
Mm.
beautiful. So, having had that as a tool at a young age,
Mhm.
how did that carry you in your career? In the real world, when you set out there, how did that
Mm.
carry you?
I think it helped me to sort of be able to talk to a lot more people than may have felt inclined to.
Mhm.
At least it gave me the skill set to be able to communicate effectively, and to also foster an understanding for where they were coming from. And so when you have that as a basis for a relationship, or just a conversation,
Mm.
you're not speaking or interacting from a me versus someone else kind of perspective.
Mhm.
You're able to at least say, okay, well, I get your point, or I get your perspective. Like, I may not agree with it, but I know that that's what you feel and think, and I can see why you might feel that way, or why you might believe in something. And then I guess that helps to put people at ease, or at least it
Mm.
helps people to not feel as if they're being judged
Mm.
just from the get go.
Yeah.
And I suppose, as a communicator, someone who works in marketing and communications, it's always very advantageous to be able to know what someone might be thinking, your target audience,
Yeah.
or your whoever it is you're writing for, or you're trying to market to. It's really, really quite important to have that understanding of their psyche,
Yeah.
so that you can be as effective as possible in crafting your message and engaging with them. I think that's really important.
Mm.
That kind of engagement, and that engagement exists when somebody feels that you understand them,
Yeah.
because if not, it's not authentic, and it's really quite a lot easier than people would think, right?
Mm.
To know whether someone's being real with you.
Yes.
They can say all the right things, or they can behave in a way that seems acceptable, but as humans, we know, right? We have a sense. There's like
Yeah.
this radar, and we know when someone's being authentic and real, and when someone's, or when someone's putting on a front, or when someone
Mm.
is trying to get something out of you, in that
Mm.
moment. Yeah.
Yeah. But there are lots of BS in this world.
Oh yeah. That's why, like, I said, like, I don't like politics. We're not going to go into politics, but because I see politics not just as, global politics, or the politics of a certain nation or region, but also things like office politics,
Yeah.
things like where there is a battlefield
Mm.
of agendas, and I think that is what I don't like about the connotations behind it.
The corporate BS, the
Yep.
corporate politics. We
Mm-hmm.
both
Mm-hmm.
hate that.
Yep.
Yes,
Yep.
hate, not just
Yes.
dislike, hate.
Yep. I think it stems from the fact that I guess we both don't like the whole, pretense of
Yeah.
situations.
Yeah.
Because I always tell my husband, right? Like, I would rather someone just be honest with me
Yeah.
than like either sugarcoat their thoughts or like hide something from me. Just spit it out,
Yeah.
and at least then I know what to do with it.
Yeah.
It may not be the nicest thing, but at least I know, and I don't have to guess, and I don't have to try to interpret, like what something means, or
Mm.
what it could relate to. Just spit it out.
Yeah. I just
Mhm.
feel like it's a waste of time.
Yeah.
Like if it's not good, then tell me it's not good. Don't say it like behind my back, or
Yeah.
just spit it out. So
Yeah.
that's what I did, but I created a lot of enemies, I think, because not everybody gets the straightforwardness or the frankness of not wasting time. If you
Yeah.
don't have the virtue of it, you're not going to
Mhm.
appreciate this
Yeah.
frank conversations, right? It
Mm.
sounds hostile, but you're not. I mean, you
Yeah.
you would always know also with the tone. It's like I feel that
Mm-hmm.
we're more respectful if we're honest with each other
Yeah.
rather than
Yeah.
beating around the bush. Then you're wasting each other's time because, yeah, like what you said, you will overthink it. It's like, what
Yeah.
does it mean? And then if you interpret it in the wrong way, then you
Mm-hmm.
waste time, and time
Yeah.
is money in this world, especially in the workforce, right?
Mm, mm.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think also it's I'm not actually the most confrontational person myself.
Mm,
And like, one of the things that I had to deal with in therapy was to stop being a people pleaser,
mm,
and to draw boundaries around my own interests,
mm.
not in a way that would be selfish, but in a way that would allow me to give more of myself to people that mattered.
Yes.
Again, it's interesting because, like you said at the start, I can be a bit of a bundle of contradictions. So while I really appreciate like frankness and honesty, and I endeavor to be the same,
Mm,
it sometimes can be difficult for me, because I'm always kind of like, deep down, I'm worried that even though I know I'm being honest and that's a good thing, I'm worried that I might offend someone,
mm.
and but that's also why I like being honest, and I like being on the receiving end of honesty as well, because I am a big overthinker.
I get you. But that's the thing I think that I would advise you, that I have to learn myself as well.
Mm,
It's all about your sensibility.
mm,
It's not about the sensitivity that you're thinking, like,
mm-hmm,
how you express yourself. So I think you're just being sensible.
mm,
So how you're expressing yourself and how you're balance, it's a balancing act, right? You
yeah,
cannot just
yeah,
be, because yeah, there's still a thin line between being hostile or being really like just frank.
Yeah.
So you have to know how to read people as well and temper
Mm.
that in a way
Mm.
that it's sensible.
Yeah.
So some people think, oh, I'm just being honest with you, but it's hostile. Like you're
Yeah.
not being sensible. But
Mm.
the way you're thinking, it's just sensibility. So
Mm.
it should, you should not be ashamed of that, or you should not
Mm.
think of it as something else, because yeah, you're just being a very sensible person. You
Mm.
evolve, you know,
Mm.
with all of these things, right?
Mm.
Like who you are, and the things that you do in marketing and comms. Like you're also a public figure who
Mm.
doesn't really like the politics of it all.
Yep.
What's your advice to younger listeners, or other people who are younger than us, that's very still naive and impressionable? Like
Mm.
how do you balance that as a public figure? How do you balance the PR portion of things versus the truth versus the authenticity? How do you balance all of them?
Mm. There's actually kind of a few aspects to this. When I set out to, or rather, when I made the decision to step forward in a more public capacity, I remember telling myself that I would not compromise on the person that I was, meaning I would still
Mm,
share the same memes that I would normally enjoy, even if they
mm.
were slightly more risque or
We're adults.
yeah, right, exactly right. And that I would just continue to use my own voice,
Yeah.
because that was important to me. It was important to me to not change that sort of the essence of who I am.
Mm,
I think it was important on a few levels. One, because I didn't want to be changed by the pressures of being in a more public role,
mm.
and also because I genuinely feel that people can relate to others. Basically, people can relate more to you if you're real,
Yes.
if you're not trying to put on a front, or if you're not trying to design and craft a certain kind of image for yourself. I mean, of course it's important to sort of be able to sell yourself, right? It's not that you don't try,
Mm,
and it's not that that's not important. It's selling yourself in a way that is genuine,
yeah.
that I think people, especially younger voters or younger, like younger individuals, want to see more of,
Mm,
which kind of fits in very well to my own natural inclination anyway.
good.
And the other thing is, I sometimes find this role difficult,
Mm-hmm.
particularly because I'm quite sensitive,
Mm-hmm.
not to criticism naturally, but to my own expectations.
Yeah.
I do find it a little bit challenging at times, to be out there in a way that makes me want to pursue values or things that might not be the most healthy. So, for example, like there's always a desire, or there's always, maybe not so much a desire, but there's always a sense of competition in this space,
Mm, mm,
for
mm,
airtime, for visibility.
mm.
It serves a bigger, I think, set of interests to be public and to be as visible as possible. Because if you're championing a certain set of causes,
Yeah.
you want to be visible for those causes as well,
Right.
and you
Yeah.
want to be visible so that you are able to work effectively as a public figure. It does require you to kind of be out there and to be known and to be active.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, that can create an unhealthy desire for the visibility.
Mm, mm,
And that's something I think I've had to grapple with internally,
mm.
to always pull myself back and say it's not important. It's not that important to be popular or well known for popularity's sake, or for the sake of being visible.
Mm,
And there's no need to compete with other people
mm.
in the same space in a way that is actually detrimental to your own sense of self and mental health.
Yeah. This applies to any influencers out there
Yeah,
too.
I
It
guess, I
looks like
guess.
it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
Mm,
That really makes a lot of sense.
mm,
At the end of the day, you do what you do. And
mm,
and you're still evolving, you're still really like campaigning for all the causes that you wanted. But what is the legacy that you wanted to leave? Because you're a public figure, so, personal legacies are different. But
mm,
for you, like, what's your professional legacy as your goal to keep on going with this challenging role that you have in this world professionally?
mm. I just hope that one of the things that I really hope to push for is for critical thinking in society,
Mm,
and also for more people to feel comfortable in their own skins and speaking in their own voice and sharing their selves with the world. I think that's quite important in a way, and in a way that lifts other people up.
yeah.
So, if you have a certain talent or if you have ideas you want to share with the world, I do hope that more people have the confidence or the support and and a conducive environment to be able to do that.
Mm,
And for me also, it's really about critical thinking, because I think that really empowers, like, individuals to see the world in a way that is a little bit freer from the kind of narratives that established figures or even the forces of convention
mm,
and norms would have you see the world.
right.
If you can think and if you can express yourself and if you can engage with other people to explore different perspectives and new ideas, I think that will help you to chart your own way forward in a way that is most true to yourself.
Beautiful.
Mm.
Yes, that is a very good legacy. And we really hope that, that society will push towards that positive
Mm.
side of things,
Mm, mm,
Critical thinking. That's really, yeah, I think that's the key word here that we
mm.
really, really need. And you're inspiring that. And that's fantastic. So please keep going, no
Thank
matter how
you.
difficult it is.
Mm,
I think we need people like you in this world to keep people in line in terms
mm,
of that agenda of critical thinking.
mm. And also to support each other. That's really important.
Mm, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, support system is really, really essential, isn't it?
Yeah.
In closing, what's the word or phrase that you can impart to our listeners and why?
I think, interestingly, like, I never really thought of this. I would be using this word,
Mm,
but I think kindness.
mm,
To be kind to yourself,
yes.
to not always sort of be harsh on yourself, your shortcomings or where you are in life. To be kind to yourself, and to sort. I think that's important, because when you are kind to yourself, you're going to be able to draw a certain kind of strength from not beating yourself up, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think kindness is actually quite linked to a healthy internal resilience and strength, and also, of course, to be kind to other people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. And I really, really enjoy our conversation. It's fantastic. And I really hope to see you soon,
Yeah, I hope to
please.
see you soon too.
Yeah. And thank you so much for hanging out with me. This is a wonderful conversation. And as a new friend, just for a few months, this is a very good catch up. And the
Yeah,
difference is
yeah.
that everybody's listening, which is fantastic too.
Oh, pressure.
Let's gather the girls and let's have a crazy laughing dinner
Yes,
again.
and you're always welcome to come by and chill out and hang out anytime.
From this episode, one of the most important words about life is rumination. It is the process of carefully thinking something over, pondering it, or meditating on it. It's similar to words cogitation, consideration, deliberation, pondering, agonizing, indecision, introspection, premeditation. Peter Kindman, a professor of clinical psychology at the University of Liverpool, quoted, "Rumination tends to be eased if we learn to be mindful, if we are able to be aware of and understand how our own thoughts work." End quote. At this point in time in our lives, overthinking is a highly infectious social anxiety. Because there are too many stimulations everywhere in the media of all sorts. They're even in our hands how many hours every day. The best way for us to free ourselves of overthinking, i.e., ruminating, is to quiet our minds, find peace, find that space where you feel safe for yourself. Ultimately, we have to be kind to our thoughts. We have energy, and you have to be wise how to use them. Everything that you're thinking, everything that you're putting in your head as scenarios of stuff, you are only putting power to it depending on how you place that scenario. Sometimes it's not even worth it, isn't it? It's just best to be honest to ourselves, honest with the people that we're ruminating about, or any situation. But ultimately, you need to be kind to yourselves on how you think. If you can't quiet your mind down, probably you can reach out and ask some help if you need it. There's no shame in that. Thank you for listening to Human Thesaurus. Please rate and subscribe and follow me on Twitter or Instagram. Your support is highly motivating for an indie podcaster like myself. Trust me. Join me again next week for another episode.